aliens can freeze space and time, and this is a story of a guy who experienced it all. Hope you enjoy.
Another thing I've heard from Carl is that he was told that these entities, whoever they are, have the ability to freeze time and space. And remember when I said the elk he was looking at, he said he shot and they didn't move. It's like they were frozen. And they were frozen in that same position when he got on the craft. Time and space being that everything around him, nobody could walk in, nobody could walk out. It's like the time and space that he and the entity and the elk were in were frozen. It's a hard thing to grasp, but I've heard this before.
It is a hard thing to grasp, but the people that speculate on how these advanced species, whatever they are, they're able to travel, that there's some sort of manipulation of space-time, that it's not as simple as like what we do, which is very crude. We do propulsion. We burn things and push stuff out the back and it makes stuff go forward. Or we have an internal combustion engine that does the same thing. It makes explosions inside the engine, burns things, pushes the pistons around, forces the transmission, and it moves. What these things supposedly do, and again, this is all just crazy talk, but what they're able to do is manipulate space-time itself and instantaneously travel from one place to the next because they have a control over the universe in a way that with us it's like completely theoretical. Like there's this woman that speculates that in the future someday, you know, with many, many, many advancements and who knows how many years of, we will be able to travel quantumly. Like the way quantum particles are entangled, she believes that perhaps the entire universe works that way and that everything is connected and that this thing that we have, this idea that the distance between stars is far too vast for a human to travel because you can't travel past the speed of light. And if you did travel past the speed of light, it would still take, you know, even if you went like 2 times the speed of light or 3 times the speed of light, it would still take thousands and thousands of years to just get to the closest planets outside of our solar system. And she thinks that one day, perhaps, if not humans or whatever's coming after humans, will be able to quantumly travel. And you would imagine that would involve some sort of manipulation of space and time that we can't quite understand. That we're talking about it like it's magic. But again, if you were talking to someone from the 1400s about a cell phone, hey, I can FaceTime my friend in Australia. They'd go, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, I pick out this device in my pocket that's as thin as a few slices of paper. And through that, I can like stare at my friend and he can see me and I can see him. Like that's magic. You're talking crazy talk. There's nothing, there's no cord. There's no nothing. Somehow or another, there's like, what are you sending that's being received? And it comes into HD video with sound and it perfectly lines up with the way the person's talking. You hear it in real time. That's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. But yet we just are so accustomed to it that it's normal. Oh, I'm getting a FaceTime call from my friend. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? You know, we think it's normal. And then you got to imagine if you could just push into the future and imagine thousands of years of innovation and technology. Like what does that look like? You know, communication used to be you had to shout. You know, Bob's over there 100 yards away. You have to put your hands, we're going to the left, you know. Now you could just text him or you could call him. And that the ability to communicate at vast distances will one day be very similar to the way we travel. We can travel vast distances instantaneously.
Part of the entanglement idea that you talked about, what if you're in Austin and I go back to Whitefish, Montana? And what if we had the ability to think, hey, Joe, I forgot to tell you this when I was on your show, and I told you by my mind. Now, people would say, oh, that's stupid, that's ridiculous. But I've talked to people that are way smarter than me that say that part of this entanglement is that what if you're in space and you're on the far side of the moon? And what if we all have that ability right now to affect others in other places? and our thinking and our mind is really more powerful, and we are this spider web of entanglement that we don't quite understand right now. And where this came from is George Knapp, been on his show like 30 times. He had a guy named Colin Kelleher who was the head of all investigations for Bigelow at Skinwalker Ranch. And George said, hey, Dave, Kelleher wants you to come out to Las Vegas. He thinks some of the work that they're doing at the ranch right now overlaps with your work on missing people. So I came out to Las Vegas 3 or 4 times, met with Kelleher, and we talked about just what you're talking about right now, this overlapping of understanding consciousness, because it's much more complex than some people are willing or even for us to understand. But what if what's happening on Earth right now, whether it's abductions, cattle mutilations, UFOs, is really something that is so beyond us? We try to think in rational terms. Well, they're taking us for our sperm or they're taking us for our eggs. But what if it's something a lot more deep than really we could comprehend right now?
Like what?
I don't know. I'm asking you, Joe. But his point being that all the time they spent almost 20 years at that ranch investigating things. And he tells me about this one incident. And he says, I've got a physicist up on the hill with another researcher. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. They're looking down at the meadow and they see this bright light. And this bright light starts to get bigger. And if you tell your guy, he could pick it up right now on, if you go to Amazon, to the movie American Sasquatch, Man, Myth, or Legend, it's my movie, we have it there. And it starts getting bigger.
Uh-huh.
And one guy doesn't have night vision, the other guy does. And this round thing keeps getting bigger and bigger, till eventually it's like you're looking down a tube. And he says it's almost 3-dimensional because you could see something at the far end of the tube. And the physicist is handing the night vision back and they're sharing it. Eventually the tube gets to be about this big, that something twice the size of you and I could crawl through. All of a sudden they see something crawling down the tube. It crawls out, it jumps down onto the land. And they see, it's so dark, even with night vision, that they could just see a silhouette, and it's bipedal, 7 or 8 feet tall, all black in color.
Is it that?
Is this it?
No.
Okay. Well, sounded like it. Sounded like what you were saying.
Is that the documentary you're talking
No,
about?
that's not
something
mine.